For this video, I have mentioned this like briefly in a previous video, but I wanted to come back to it because I think it's actually a really interesting thing, and I don't really hear a lot of people talking about this aspect of psychedelics, and I think it's really important to kind of share both sides of the story. So I shared a little bit that like I did not have a great experience, and that was one of the things that like I knew from a young age, that I had a very addictive personality. And so for me, I already knew that drugs were going to be a problem. I didn't know that love was going to be a problem. That's a great video. But I knew that drugs would be a problem for me, so I stayed away from them for a long time, until my like early 30s. Actually, I hadn't tried anything other than kind of like prescription drugs and of course alcohol. um so yeah, I think I am I put a caution on psychedelics for people that have anxiety personally. I'm not a medical professional, so of course, do what's best for you. But for me, I think the type of anxiety that I had with that type of experience was, it was detrimental, and it opened up pathways for me and feelings and emotions for me, and not in a good way. And so I think it's important to kind of share both sides, because I see a lot of people promoting like psychedelic use, and it has a lot of great benefits, don't get me wrong. And like for people that it is beneficial for, yes, please explore that and see if it's right for you. But I would also just give you like, the caution, the warning of like, it could go the other direction too, and that's something that you need to be prepared for, because I was not prepared for that. So for me, I think I mentioned before that I have travel anxiety. And so how that really manifests for me is like any type of traveling, going places, car, plane, train. It's kind of like a heightened stress state for me. And it basically feels like I am being like pulled out of my body. Like that's the best way that I can describe it. It feels like my energy is like flying everywhere else, and it brings on this stress where I'm just trying to like keep a connection to my body and feel safe. However, the feelings that I'm having in my body, the actual kind of sensations that I'm having in my body, are making me feel even more unsafe. So like I get like the sweaty palms, like the heart palpitations, I get like a dry mouth, my vision will kind of shift to, so I feel unsafe in my body, while I'm also being this feeling of being pulled out of my body. And so like both states don't feel comfortable, and I'm kind of stuck in this in between. So that's the best way that I can describe my anxiety. It I mean, usually it gets to a point where it's like a full-on panic attack. I'll hit that like peak plateau, and then it'll calm down for a bit, and then we're back on the roller coaster, so to speak. But it leaves you with this like general sense of like, when is the next attack going to happen, right? Like it leaves you with this just general underlying pervasive fear and anxiety. And it's terrible, it's awful. Like I don't wish it upon anyone. It's a really awful state to like exist in. And like, so for me, like that anxiety, that underlying kind of anxiety is there 24/7. So for some people it's milder. For me, like as I've gotten older, it's like aggravated to the point where like even like going on a 5-minute drive can sometimes be a full panic experience, right? So just imagine like that being on the daily, right? It's not enjoyable by any means. And yes, I've tried all different types of therapy, exposure therapy, EMDR, like what is it called, the hypnosis. Like, I've tried all different types of things, and honestly, it doesn't really necessarily, it hasn't made it better for me. I have not found anything that was effective, which is why psychedelics appealed to me in the first place. Because there was a lot of research coming out that they can be helpful with anxiety, and kind of help in that space. But I think the specific type of anxiety that I had and the space that I had, I don't know that it was as helpful for me. So what psychedelics did for me was take me to the like deep end, like far deep end, where I had this disconnection between reality, like what is real, and it kind of like turned on this thing in my brain where like, yeah, none of this is real, but it's real at the same time. And so there's kind of like this push and pull, right? Where like I don't feel real at times and the reality doesn't feel real. And then I'm also trying to like be existing in this state that doesn't feel real. Like it's a push and pull, and right, it doesn't feel comfortable, right? Like no one wants to feel like they're not real in their body, right? It's not comfortable at all. And so I think taking the psychedelics turned on that piece for me. And so now on top of the travel anxiety, right, I'll have that piece, but then in those moments when I'm having a high stress, it will also feel like I'm not real, right? And so there's this added layer of like anxiety and like uncomfortable sensations and feelings in my body. And so it actually made my anxiety worse in a lot of cases. I think, so there was a news story a while ago that I saw about this pilot, right, who took psychedelics and then was on the plane, and he like had this urge to pull this lever that basically would stop the turbines from spinning, right? Because he didn't feel real. And like I related to that so much. Sorry, I had to go help my pup before she started squeaking everywhere in my background with playing with her toys. So the pilot story, right? It seems so like ridiculous, right? He's like, I didn't feel real in that moment. It didn't feel like anything was real. And so like I didn't really understand the consequences. I relate to that so much. And unless you've had that experience, it seems crazy. It seems like what the hell was wrong with him? But no, I totally understand after doing the psychedelics, like where he's coming from and what that feeling is like. And it's a terrible, terrible, awful feeling. And so I had a lot of compassion for that pilot when I saw that story. And I know a lot of the news was not very compassionate towards him. Understandably, like he put a lot of people's lives at risk. But the feeling that he explained and what that felt like was very accurate. So yeah, I say that to like just add an extra layer of like caution with psychedelics, because yes, it can help you reach parts of yourself that you may not have had access to. It can open your mind. There's also this like incredible like loving state and connection to the universe, which is great. Love that. But the flip side is that it's not guaranteed that you'll be able to turn that off afterwards. It's not like a one and done. It's like you've now, at least for me, like I've opened a permanent state of being, and like there's a before and after, and like you can't really go back, right? So yeah, that was my overarching experience with psychedelics. I just say take it with caution. Maybe, you know, make sure that you have like medical support, you have a team, you seek medical advice on it. Again, I'm not a I'm not a doctor. I'm just one person sharing my experience. All right, you have any questions? I'm happy to elaborate a little bit more. If you have any thoughts, reflections, feel free. I will definitely read all the comments in the chat. So yeah, that's all for this video, and I will see you in the next one.